What's up everybody, Justin at S&K Greenhouse, and today we're going over 15 petite shrubs that's going to fit in those small spaces. Let's jump in. First one on the list is the tater tot arborvitae, and boy do I love this little conifer. It gets about 1.5 feet tall, 1.5 feet wide. No pruning is ever needed. It just grows in this nice little spherical shape, and it looks really well with the next one on my list, the blue star juniper. Now don't get scared when I say juniper. This is not the ground cover type of juniper like the Bar Harbor juniper or the blue rug juniper. This is going to stay only about 1 foot tall, 2 to 3 foot wide, but it is slow growing, so it's perfect for those small spaces. Yes, both of these need part to full sun to do well. And let me show you something else that pairs well with the blue star juniper. Anna's Magic Ball. Anna's Magic Ball is similar to the tater tot, except for it's got this nice little gold color. Year-round gold color, might I add. It gets about 1.5 feet tall, 1.5 feet wide, stays nice and petite. It was developed in Canada, so it has excellent cold tolerance. And guess what else? It can tolerate a good bit of shade. So if you don't quite have that sunny spot, try a little bit of Anna's Magic Ball action. Now over here is the next one on the list. Radiance Abelia. I love this one. It doesn't look like it would be evergreen, but it's actually evergreen, and it's a bloomer, spring bloomer, white blooms that attract hummingbirds and butterflies. But the variegation's what makes this one special. You got the green leaf with the white edges. The new growth is actually white. The older growth is creamy edges, but this really looks good with just about anything. Let me show you what I like it with. Let's go on down here to a dark green evergreen that I bet you didn't guess would make it to this video, since we're talking about petite shrubs. The Encore Fire Azalea. Now, it specifically has to be Encore Fire or the Encore Autumn Angel. And the reason is, the way these were bred, for whatever reason, they stay a little more compact than the others. So if you tried some of the other Encores and they get too big, this one actually stays small, and it's got these beautiful, vibrant, just stunning red blooms, and they just get covered. Now, if you're not familiar with Encores, they bloom spring, summer, and fall. This one's going to stay around that 2 to 3 foot range. And let me show you. Let's go on up, Al. Let's go on up. Let's go on up. Oh, let's come on back. Let's come on back to the mini Jazz Hands Loropetalum. Now, I have showed this other Jazz Hands on the channel before, the variegated version. Now, this one gets about 4 or 5 foot tall, so this one don't make the cut on this video. But the mini Jazz Hands does make the cut, because it only gets about 1 foot tall, 2 to 3 foot wide, and yes, year-round purple foliage, part to full sun, and you still get those little beautiful neon red blooms in the springtime. Now, in my landscapes, I use Loropetalum all the time, because not only do they look good with green shrubs or blue shrubs, they look good. Let's segue on into the lime glow juniper. Now, I love lime glow because in the spring and summer, when it warms up, it almost turns like this chartreuse green color. And then in the wintertime, it's more of a bronzy orange color. Looks great year-round regardless. Now, I like this one too because it's not a ground cover. It's still a shrub type. It's going to get about 1 foot tall, and it's going to grow out nice and wide. It has excellent heat and salt tolerance. So if you're near the coast, this is going to be a good one. Now, I love Morgan Arborvitae. I talk about this one all the time. This one's going to give you a nice shape. Even though, yes, it's a nice fat pyramidal shape, it's still going to fit those petite spaces because it's going to only get about 2 or 3 foot tall, 1 to 2 foot wide. Beautiful gold color year-round. Loves part to full sun, and in the wintertime. I love the color in the wintertime just as much as the spring and summer. It's going to turn this orange bronze color. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Now let's walk on down to something I've never shown before, because this is new. Electric Love Wagula. If you've heard of compact Waiglas, they still gonna get 4-5 foot tall, but not electric love. This one truly is petite. In that 2 to 3 foot tall and wide range, it has electric red blooms that just get covered in the springtime. A light shearing will help it rebloom into fall even, but what makes it special is the black or dark purplish foliage. When you contrast the dark foliage with the red blooms, this is the only Waigla that has that combination, and it is absolutely stunning. Waiglas also attract hummingbirds, by the way. Woo, do you smell that? Oh my goodness. We got the Snow Girl gardenia, and it is just blooming like crazy. Here we are in the month of June, and it's just showing out. Look at the glossy green foliage paired with these single white blooms. This is gorgeous. And a lot of times gardenias you'll see get huge and they make these big hedges out of them. Not Snow Girl. This one's going to stay nice and petite, only gets about 1 to 2 foot tall, and it's more of a creeping gardenia. This is going to spread across nice and wide with that mounding shape. Put it in part to full sun. This is a great one if you're like near the front of your steps or walkway, because you're going to get that aroma each day. Up next, I'm going to show you the next shrub. We've got this spreading Japanese plum yew. This is probably one of the most versatile shrubs I'm going to show on this video. It has a very unique texture. Come in and look at this yew. That is just very different from the broadleaf shrubs I've been showing or the arborvitaes. I think this one is going to be great in sun or shade. It has excellent deer resistance, and this has more of a spreading habit, year-round emerald green foliage. But look at this yew right beside it. This is golden dragon yew, and yes, this is not a camera trick. It's really that gold. This is the new growth, and that new growth is not going to burn in full sun like a lot of other gold shrubs do. This is also deer resistant. Now, unlike the spreading yew, it has more of an upright habit, but it is very slow growing and very compact still, so it's excellent for those tight spaces. Let me show you a couple shrubs that's going to look good with the yew. How'd you know I was going to grab the darker color shrubs? Look at this golden dragon yew with the mini jazz hands, lower petalum, or the electric love Waigla. I love that contrast there. Very stunning. Now, if you like lots of color, I have a treat for you. Let me show you Bobo hydrangea. This one's starting to bloom pretty good here. But the thing about Bobo is it's going to turn bright white. I love Bobo hydrangea because it has very, very strong stems to hold these gigantic flowers, even though the plant itself remains nice and tidy. It's going to start blooming this time of year around June. It's going to bloom all the way until frost. And these flowers make really great, fresh cut flowers or dried flowers. And this is a panicle style hydrangea, so it's going to do really good in part or full sun. And then right beside it here, I have two of probably the most compact butterfly bushes on the market. This is the Pugster series from Proven Winners. Right here we have Amethyst. There's another one called Pinker, which I don't have. Pretend like it's right here. And then we have Pugster Blue. These are really great for a dwarf butterfly bush. Most of the butterfly bushes get huge, 5-6 foot tall. These are going to stay in that 2 to 3 foot range. You can prune them down in late February or spring if they get too big for you. But these are going to love the full sun. They're going to drive in the pollinators. And just look at the massive blooms on such a petite plant. I think that's just excellent. Follow me over here. I have a hydrangea I've never shown before. This is City Line Paris. Come out here and look at this beauty. It's a very petite plant, again, petite, but the blooms are massive. Right now they're almost like a dark pink, almost reddish. If you get your soil a little more acidic, it'll have dark purple centers. But this is a really good 2 to 3 foot tall and wide blooming shrub. In our you know, we're in the South. Our sun's a little different. It says full sun or part sun. For us here, we're probably going to want to put this in afternoon shade and just have sun the first half of the day. That's where it's going to do best. It's going to start blooming in late May, go all the way until the first frost. And yes, this is yet again another great shrub for dried flowers or cut flowers. Now, let's go back to another evergreen that I think you're going to love. Yes, it's another arborvitae. It's hiding out here in the conifers. Check out Mr. Bowling Ball arborvitae. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Good gosh, that thing's already huge. Well, actually, this is a petite shrub. This is just a very, very mature Mr. Bowling Ball we have here. It looks like a 7-gallon container, Oregon grown. That's why it's so big and robust. But Mr. Bowling Ball is actually pretty petite because it only gets about 2 foot tall, maybe 3 foot eventually, but it has a nice mounding shape. So it's still going to fit in those tight spaces. It has a bluish green needle to it. Turns a little darker in the wintertime, still looks great for wintertime interest. So this is multi-seasonal, loves part sun or full sun. And guess what? No pruning is ever needed to maintain this nice, tidy form. Well, folks, there you go. There are my 15 petite shrubs for small spaces. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell, as a lot of you are watching this content, but you have not yet subscribed to my channel, and it helps out so much, so I'll go ahead and give you a moment to do so. Have you did it? Okay, great. Until next time, become a plant person.